Hi Flosstube, my name's Bernie and this is my first ever Flosstube video, so please be kind, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I thought I'd start a channel. I've been thinking about it for years. I've been watching Flosstube for a little while now and I'd like to contribute and show you some of my work and what I've been doing. So I thought I'd start this channel. I've done a bit of research on how to do it, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm calling myself Hooking and Stitching. The reason for this is that I'm mostly known as a crocheter, but I do cross stitch on the side as more of my hobby. You may know me as Little Grey Hook on the likes of Instagram and Facebook and Etsy. I do run a little shop where I sell my crochet and I do have a fair following on Instagram, it's not too bad. Yeah, I will be putting a link to this video on my Instagram, so if you've come from there, thank you for finding me, that's great. And we'll crack on. So I thought I'd start with the Know Your Needlework tag. It seems like a good place to start and introduce myself and get used to this talking to the camera, because I'm not used to doing this at all. So I thought I'd go through the questions, just explain a little bit about myself and then go through my WIPs. I've got a little bit of haul and just talk about my plans and go from there really, and we'll see how it goes. So the first question on the Know Your Needlework tag is, where do you live? So you can probably tell from my accent that I live in the UK. I live in Derbyshire. In the well, we're classed as, technically it's West Midlands, but I always think of it as the East Midlands. We're quite near to East Midlands Airport, if you know where that is. Today it's the 13th of February and it's absolutely freezing here today. It's like -3 outside. I'm not looking forward to going out later because I've got to go out later. I'll explain why shortly. But yeah, it's a lovely bright sunny day, which is why I thought today would be the perfect day to film and just crack on and do it, because I've been putting it off for weeks and weeks, months and months saying I'm going to do this. So yeah, here we go. So where do I live? Derbyshire in the UK. Number 2, what do you do for a living? I'm an administrator in an office. I work for a plastering company and I just do all the admin side. I do a bit of the health and safety as well, because I'm qualified as a health and safety rep in construction. I only do that part-time because one of the next questions is, do you have any children? I do have 2 small children, so I'm still sort of the primary carer for them, and at the moment the schools are shut with COVID, so I'm doing all their homeschooling. But I also run my own little Etsy shop, as I mentioned earlier. I sell crochet, so that's part of what I do for a living as well. But yeah, the main thing is that I'm an office administrator part-time. So yes, do you have any children? I have 2. I have a little boy who's going to be 8 next week. We're just in the process of sorting out all his gifts and things, his cake, getting that all ready for him because he's got his lockdown birthday. And I've also got a little girl and she is 5. She'll be 6 in May. And that's enough. I don't need any more children than that. They're enough to deal with. And hopefully they won't come in and disturb me. I have asked them to leave me alone for a little bit while I do something. If I tell them I'm filming for YouTube, they'll both be in here. So I haven't mentioned that. Next question is, do you have any pets? And yes, I'm a big animal lover. My biggest love is cats. I have 3 of them and you'll see this reflected in my work. I've got my favourite mug here, Meow's It Going. My cats are ragdoll cats. I've got 3 of them, if I haven't just mentioned that. There's 2 of them over there on the bed at the moment. Not coming over to say hello. They may make an appearance at some point during my videos. They tend to get onto Zoom and Skype when I have to do that. Yeah, I absolutely love my cats and you'll see why shortly. We also have 2 rabbits. Those are my children's, Peter and Frosty. And as they're my children's rabbits, that means I am the sole carer and the person who keeps them alive on a daily basis. I'm the one who feeds them, cleans them out, makes sure Foxes doesn't eat them. As that is a thing here in the UK, foxes will eat your rabbits if you're not careful. This morning I had to chase off one of the neighbourhood cats because he likes to play with the rabbits. And then lastly I have what we call a share horse. I'm an equestrian. Have been since I was a child. I love to ride, care for horses. I went to college and did horse care, but I've never been able to commit to having one of my own, sort of financially and time-wise. So a share horse, for anybody that doesn't know, is that the horse is owned by somebody else, but I pay a small contribution each month towards his care, and the owner then allows me to treat him as my own. I can go up and ride him whenever I like. I take part in his care. As I mentioned, I've got to go outside later. It's my turn to go and help put the boys inside. There's actually 4 horses on our yard that we look after. And yeah, I'll be there this evening bringing them in and giving them their dinner and making sure they're all okay. If you do see, I do apologise, I have a mark on my thumb at the moment. Jack, the horse, he didn't realise my thumb was in his mouth when he closed his mouth the other day. And so if you see me with any injuries, that's usually Jack involved. He is a big horse, but yeah, I love him to bits. And so thankfully I get to do all the horse care side of things, but without the massive financial commitment and time commitment too, because I have 2 small children, you know, it's difficult. But yes, those are my pets. So next is, what are your other hobbies besides cross stitch? So I've already really touched upon these. The first one is crochet. If you do know me from the crochet side of things, you know that I'm always making blankets and hats and scarves and things like that. I do love to crochet. I've been doing it for 6 years now. And horse riding is my other hobby. I also do a little bit of diamond painting, as most stitchers tend to do now. I think we all sort of dabble in it a little bit. I tried to avoid it for months. No, I'm not doing that. Don't need another hobby. And no, I fell down that rabbit hole, and I've got quite a few projects sitting under the mattress over there staying flat. I need to kit one up actually. It's I've just finished one, so I need to start my next one, which would be good. So right, next question is just to learn about me a little bit. What's your favourite movie? Harry Potter. Doesn't everybody love Harry Potter? I know my parents don't actually, but something weird about them. I think my favourite Harry Potter film is The Prisoner of Azkaban. I don't know why, I just really love that one with the time turner and the hippogriffs, and I think it's when it starts to get a bit serious and we meet Sirius and start to learn a bit more about Harry's history and things. So I love the whole Harry Potter series and watch them again and again and again. I think most of us can. What's your favourite TV show? I'm one of these people that doesn't necessarily have a favourite. I watch an array of things. I must admit, I don't watch an awful lot of TV. Usually if I've got hold of the TV, I'm watching YouTube. And so I tend to watch what my husband's watching. He's really into the Big Bang Theory at the moment. I think we're watching that through again at the moment. We've just finished The Mandalorian. We watched that with the children. They really like it. I'm saying a lot, and I'm aware I'm not supposed to say So let's move on to the next question. Favourite book? Again, this is Harry Potter. I've got the Harry Potter books. I read them over and over again. As soon as the children, they're starting to get to that age now where I can probably read it to them and make that our bedtime story at night, which would be lovely. So yeah, I'm a bit of a Potter fan. And favourite music? Again, you see, I'm not a big music fan in the sense that I don't particularly go to concerts or gigs or anything like, not that we can at the moment, but in the car I listen to Kistery, which is a UK radio station where they play all the old R&B and hip-hop classics, and it sort of takes me back to when I was a teenager and driving around with the windows down having a great time. But yeah, I tend to listen to a bit of the normal pop music. Love the likes of like Little Mix and things like that. Just anything I can dance to and sing along to. That's all my sort of thing. So the last question is, what one word best describes you? And I had to think about this for a little bit, and I was thinking, I'm very organised and very thorough and things like that. But I think that the best word that describes me is prepared. I like to make sure I'm prepared for things. I spent a good hour getting myself ready for this video, watching tutorial videos on how to do it. the biggest thing I'm worrying about now is editing, because I don't know how to do that and I'm going to have to learn on the job. But yeah, you might see this in a few weeks' time when I've figured it out. But we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, that's me. So yeah, my name's Bernie. I live in the UK with my husband, my 2 children, 3 cats, 2 rabbits, and a horse. So let's get on with the WIPs. Now, I started cross-stitching properly 3 years ago. Just about April time, 3 years ago, so very nearly 3 years. And just got bit by the bug in a big way. Yeah, you'll see that in my WIPs. So my first WIP that I've got to show you is a Heaven and Earth design, because I absolutely love them. And I started this one May 2018, so yeah, we're coming up for my 3rd year on this one. I'm proud to say I hit 81,000 stitches on it last night, according to Pattern Keeper, which is absolutely amazing. And Pattern Keeper is the best thing ever. You will hear me mention that a few times. Love the app. Amazing for stitches. My husband actually bought me an Android tablet so that I could have Pattern Keeper, because we're Apple people. We have, you know, Apple phones, iPhones, iMacs, iPads. But yeah, Pattern Keeper was an absolute game changer for full coverage projects, as you'll see. But yeah, so my first design is this one. It's called My Darling. It's by an artist called Irina Garmashova, and it's obviously been chartered by Heaven and Earth Designs. Ignore the grid lines on it. I put those on when I first started just to see where the page lines were. I actually went to the trouble of measuring the picture and then dividing it by the amount of stitches so that I could put the lines in exactly the right places. At the moment, I'm working down here in page 13, although since having Pattern Keeper, I don't tend to work in pages anymore. In fact, I've actually taken the page lines off the chart because they confuse me when I'm counting sometimes. I'll think that it's the bottom of the 10 block grid and it's not, and it's, you know, number 8 or something, and it goes all wrong, so I took them out. Absolutely love this piece. As I mentioned, my cats are ragdoll cats. This is a ragdoll cat. I actually spoke to Irina when I first started doing this chart and asked her, because it's her cat and it's a boy. His name is, I'm going to try and say this and not butcher it, Mocha. I think that's it, because Irina's Russian. And yeah, I do believe her cat is called Mocha. But this piece is dedicated to my oldest ragdoll. Her name is Darcy. She's just stood up. Are you coming? Darcy? Are you coming? She's thinking about it. She might come and say hello. She's a blue colour point ragdoll. This is a seal colour point ragdoll. Seal's the dark brown, blue is the grey. But this piece is dedicated to her. She's going to be 9 years old this year, and she's my soulmate. I love her to pieces. We know each other inside out, and I needed a piece for her, so this is it. Stitch count is 400 by 292, so it's not massive, but it's not little. And yeah, let me show you how I'm getting on with this one. So this one is on my scroll bars, and I only finished stitching on this one last night. Ignore the parked threads. They are going. I've changed how I stitch now, and I'm not really stitching with parked threads anymore. But let me see if I can go back a bit. See, there you go. Should be able to see all of that in its absolute glory. I adore it. This is on 18 count, easy count fabric by Zweigart, and I'm doing it 2/1 full crosses. It's all in DMC. Now then, yeah, that's what I need to mention about this chart. All the background that you can see here, all this creamy colour, is charted in Kreinik. Now luckily, when I first started doing this piece, I realised I'd already heard about Kreinik, and I knew that it could be painful to work with, and there are 32,000 stitches in Kreinik on this piece, and there was just no way I was going to stitch 32,000 stitches in Kreinik. So I changed it up, and I spoke to people on the Haid Facebook group and asked what they suggested. And the first suggestion, because it was Kreinik 032, first suggestion was to do it in 3865, which there's already a lot of. The white in the cat's neck is all 3865, so I couldn't use that colour because it would have all just blended in. So in the end I went with Ecru, because it doesn't use it at all in the chart. So I changed up the whole background. So my very first Haid, I'd only been stitching a couple of months, and I changed 32,000 stitches from Krynic to Ecru. And I think it works. There's been the odd time I've looked at it and gone, oh, have I picked the right colour? But I think I have, and I'm happy with it. So I'm running with it. I'm not changing it now. Gosh, I've been working on it 3 years. But yeah, so that's my first WIP. Nearly 70% complete. I'm on 69 point something % complete. 81,000 stitches completed. I want to finish it this year. I hope I can finish it this year. We're good to go. So yeah, over 3 years, I'm averaging 30,000 stitches a year. So yeah, I should be able to get it done this year. Watch this space, we'll see if we can do it. So that was WIP number 1. WIP number 2 is this one. Autumn Glows, and it's by Little Dove Designs, Faye Walsh. She's a UK stitcher. She often has things in this magazine, Cross Stitcher. And I saw this. I'm not really into traditional samplers. You'll see by my work that's not my sort of thing. But this is a sampler I could get on with. And I love seasonal stuff. I don't know why, I'm drawn to it. And yeah, this is this one. So here's where I'm at. Let's see if I can get it straight on this board. So as you can see, it's not far off finished. And again, I've been working on this for a silly amount of time. Ooh. Excuse me. But yeah, it's getting there. Most of it is done. I've just got to finish the border really. And there's a, I've got a backstitch spider into there. And I think that'll be it. There's the animals have got to have eyes, so this fox down here and these squirrels, they need to have eyes. The chart calls for French knots. I don't do French knots. So I'm doing it in seed beads, and then every flower centre is also beaded. So these ones included down the bottom here. So I've got all those beads to put in once I've finished the stitching, because I stitch on a Q-snap, so I'm leaving the beading till the very end. But we'll be really thrilled to see this finished. It's going to be great. And I am going to be doing the companion pieces to this one. There is a winter one and then a spring and summer. I have started spring. You'll see that coming up in the WIPs as well. But yeah, loving that one. So next, there's not too much glare actually. I'm sorry, you can see my ring light. This is Pussycat Pussycat by the Historical Sampler Company. I picked this up at the Knitting and Stitching Show at Alexandra Palace a couple of years ago, I think it was, because I haven't been since, and I'm really hoping that it can be on this year because I'd love to go again. I really enjoyed myself when I went there. Not a big project, but it's still taking me a bit of time. I think it's the repetitiveness of it just makes it boring, but I'm not inclined to pick it up. But again, this is close to a finish, so I want to get it done. Well, I'll explain the linen one. Let's show it you, shall we? You have to excuse the creases. I haven't ironed it. I really probably should have done. I wanted to crack on. So there we are. I'm not very good at holding these on here, am I? I'm gonna have to get better at that. Ooh, come here. So the fabric I've used for this one is 32 count Edinburgh linen in the shade Parchment, and I think it's from Sparklies. I got it from Patchwork Rabbit or something like that. I don't think it was from Lakeside Needlecraft. I haven't branched out on much fabric recently, but I've got a couple of plans where I am going to get some nice hand-dyeds. But this is lovely. I'm not a massive fan of working on linen. I've discovered I prefer even weave, but I tried it. I've got a few finished pieces on on linen as well. But yeah, I've just got this cat down here to finish, and the border, the writing around the border. So that is nearly done. So I need to crack on and get that one finished, definitely, because it's, yeah. And I think I'll probably have it somewhere in the house because it's a cat piece and I love cats, as you've seen. So yeah, that one's cracking on, won't be much longer, which is nice. Let's have a sip of tea because I'm getting a dry mouth. Tea is what I drink. You'll never see me with a coffee because I don't like it. But yeah, maybe in summer I'll be drinking cold drinks, but yeah, it'll mostly be tea. So my next piece, I'm just going to turn over the page because I've got it written out. My next piece is this one, another Heaven and Earth Designs. I love my full coverage pieces. So I'm going to bring it a bit closer because the picture's quite small. This is Mini Mermaid at Sunset by, I'm going to try not to butcher this, Elena Lazareva, if that's how you say it. I think this piece is beautiful. I love the colours in it, and when this is done it's going up in my bathroom because I just think it's so pretty. But let me show you how I'm getting on with this one. This one's over 30% complete. I can't remember how far complete it is, but it's not doing too bad. Lockdown actually helped to get more work done on this one. I really concentrated on it during the first lockdown back in March. And I have worked on it recently. It's been on my Instagram. I've been working on the background here and on her torso, and I finished her hair, which is nice. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? So I'm stitching this on 25 count, easy count, and I'm doing it 2 over 1. No, I'm not. I'm doing it 1 over 1. Excuse me. Yeah, one strand of floss over 1 square, full crosses. And I just absolutely adore it. I got my little needle minder here from Etsy. I can't remember which store it was from, I do apologise. I love my needle minders and I like to match them to my project where I can. That's probably why you saw a cat on the previous one and a cat on the other cat one. But yeah, loving the colours in that. It's so pretty. It will be really nice when it's done. And it's going to be a nice size because this is obviously the full width of it. And I think it comes down out here, something like that, because I've cut the fabric so that I've got a 3-inch border all the way around. But yeah, loving that one. Don't know whether it'll finish this year. Still a fair bit to do on it. We'll see how we get on. So next is I'm doing the Advent Animals by Brooks Books Publishing, and I'm currently working on, is it Cashmere Camel, that one there. I'm stitching these all, they're all on one piece of fabric at the moment. I'm going to have several pieces of fabric by the time I've done them all, but I am going to be mounting them individually into like a little flip book advent calendar. That's my idea anyway. But yeah, I'm as far as Cashmere Camel at the moment, number 6, so I've got a few to do yet. But let's show you these. I've dropped my board. Come here. So, stitching these on the same Sage even weave that I used for Autumn Glows. So it's 28 count Sage even weave by Zweigart. As you can see, yeah, I've done the first 6. Just got to finish Cashmere Camel there. I did the border slightly different on these. I had this gorgeous silk rainbow thread that I picked up at the knitting and stitching show at Alexandra Palace, and I'm doing the borders in a full cross stitch in that. But yeah, loving those. Oh, they're just so cute. Absolutely love them. Can't wait to have them up at Christmas. So if I've done 6, I've got 19 left to do. That's quite a lot, isn't it, to get it done for this year? But they are only small. I've discovered I gave myself a 5-day rotation on this, and I managed to do 2 full squares in those 5 days. So, you know, crack on with it. I could have it ready for Christmas this year. But yeah, don't worry about the spacing on this fabric because I am going to cut them out individually. I'm just using scraps of fabric, so the next colour probably won't be this sage. But they tend to go on anything really, other than white, because of all the white from the snow. But yeah, super cute. So my next one is my final Heaven Earth design. Hello? I've got a pussycat jump down. And this one I'm doing for my little girl because she loves unicorns. Doesn't every little, and obviously I've mentioned that I'm a horse rider. My little girl, of course, is a horse rider too. She's learning how to ride. She loves anything horsey, anything unicorny. So this is by David Penfound, and it's the mini, so it's not quite as big. Let's show it you. bit of progress on this one. I'm still working my way along the top, but you can see the unicorn's head has appeared there. I'm stitching this on 28 count easy count fabric by Zweigart, and I'm doing it 2/1 tent stitch. So I wanted to try it, and I like how it looks. I like the coverage. Can you see it's quite good? In the focus. And that one's turning out nicely. That's going to go in my little girl's room. She loves it every time I bring it out. She loves my unicorn needle minder. Again, that was from Etsy. I think she wants that. I might end up giving it to her once I've finished this piece. But yeah, beautiful. Love the colours in that one as well. So nice and bright. Don't know when I'm going to get that one finished. It's not had as long on it as some of my other pieces. It's a newer one. Right, so that brings me to my last piece. I've only got 7 WIPs. I'm not one of these stitchers that has 60 odd. I couldn't deal with that. Hats off to those of you that do, but that's not for me. I get a bit stressed if I've got that many projects. I struggle with having this many. No more than 10, definitely not. I had 9 up until recently, and I finished 2 recently. I'll have to show my finishes at some point, but yeah, I'm not one for loads and loads of WIPs. I prefer to see the progress, as opposed to look at this start and it's this big, look at this start and it's this big. No offence to those stitches, I love them, but that's just not for me. So my last WIP is this one. I mentioned I'm doing the collection of the samplers. This is the spring sampler called Spring Awakening by Little Dove Designs. You can see that. It's lovely sunny colours, and it's so nice to stitch now that we're coming into spring. I'm thoroughly enjoying that. I'm loving the little ducks and the house and the rain clouds and things like that. I just think it's so cute. I'm stitching this one on another even weave. This is 28 count, I believe it's Ivory even weave by Zweigart. Again, 2/1, and that's where I recently started. This is my latest new start. Started at the end of January, and I got this much done in 5 days, so I'm really pleased with that. This has been pulled on my Tiny Decisions app to be worked on next, so I'll probably start working on this tonight. I'm going to move up. I like to go up to the top and then work my way down, so I'm going to move up and perhaps start the border at the top and work my way down, and then do the house and the tree and things that's in there. But yeah, obviously this is the halfway point. This was the very centre of the fabric. And also the pattern is in 2 pages, and that's where the page break was. It's a paper pattern for this one. I think you can get them in PDF now from Face Shop, but I've got 3 of the magazines, I believe, so it'll just be the last pattern that I get as a PDF. But yeah, loving that one as well. So that's all my WIPs. Coming up to 28 minutes on the timer now, so it's not too bad, I don't think, for my first video. I just wanted to show you, I've got a little bit of haul to show you, a couple of patterns, and my husband's just come home with a magazine for me. When I last had some threads delivered, I needed them, so they've already been bobbinated, so I don't have those to show as haul, but going forwards I will try and keep anything that I buy to show you at the end, if you're interested, of course. So first thing I've just recently bought is a pattern. I had a search going on eBay for this, because it's not common here in the UK. I got Quilting Bee by the Blue Flower, artwork by Janine McGowan. Absolutely love this. I think it's just really pretty. Not my normal style, if I'm honest, but I really like it. But I don't think I'm going to bother doing it in the called for. It's called for Gentle Arts and Crescent Colours, but I think I'm going to do it in the DMC conversion. Just because I've got a couple of other projects downstairs. I've done a couple of Plum Street samplers, and I'm not overly keen on how they look compared to the model, despite the fact that I say the model's stitched in the called for overdyes. I don't think they look, mine just doesn't look quite the same, so I thought I'd do it in the DMC for this one. So I need some fabric. I haven't got any fabric. I don't keep a big stash, but yeah, this will be one that I start at some point this year. Love that. And then I've had a pattern from Etsy, and I've just realised I didn't look up who it's by on Etsy. If I can insert, I'll put it in here. I don't know how to do that yet, but I'll have a go. But I mentioned that we've been watching The Mandalorian. This is for my son. So I'm stitching the unicorn piece for my daughter. My son would like Grogu. Although he refuses to call him Grogu, he calls him Baby Yoda. But yeah, that's super cute. I found a fabric that I want to stitch this on. I don't know if you can see, there's like lots of little spotty dotty bits around him. I'm not going to stitch those. I'm going to put this on a hand dyed, and I found a really lovely one at the Crafty Kitten. I think it's called Cosmic, and I've got it on layaway, and it just looks like space to me. I think this would just look perfect against it. Nice dark colour, and I think it really should. I've got the floss. I've already ordered all the floss for it. I've got it downloaded on Pattern Keeper, which was amazing because I wasn't sure if it would go on Pattern Keeper, but it did. So that I think will be my next start, but I've got to pay the layaway off on my fabric, and then she's got to dye it and it be shipped. So it's going to be a few months before I start it, I think. But yeah, that's one of my next new starts. And then, yeah, husband bought me a magazine today, bless him. So I've not had a look at this one yet. It's still all in the packet. There is a little biscornu at the front by the looks of it. Might have a go at doing that. I've never done a biscornu before. But yeah, I like this magazine. It's just trying to see what's in there. I've not even looked at it yet. I want to start reading it now. I can see there's a pussycat down there. Can you see? Cats are my thing. I might, yeah, I'll have a look at that later. So, okay, that's it. I think I've got to figure out how to upload this and edit it and everything else, which will be a miracle in itself if I can manage to do that. I want to learn how to go, look, here's a picture here and things like that, and I don't know how to do that yet. So my plan going forwards is, I mentioned earlier, I use the Tiny Decisions app to choose which project I stitch on next. And this, I've been doing that this year, and I'm finding it gives me a chance to make sure I touch on everything. Everything that you can see here has been stitched on this year. So there's nothing that hasn't had some progress put on it, which is great. Although I sort of told myself I was going to give myself 5 days on each, but my darling got 7 because I couldn't put it down, and I love it. So my plan is that I'm hoping to come and do a video probably once a month, because I don't do enough in a week, enough different stuff in a week to warrant doing weekly videos. I'm not one of these that spends a day on this and a day on that. I tend to spend a chunk of time on each project. So I'm thinking a video once a month. So I may come back at the end of February, which I appreciate is only in a couple of weeks because it's the 13th today, and then perhaps the end of each month to come and do a video, provided of course this goes well. So if you like what you saw, please give me a like. Please be nice. If you want to, please subscribe. That'd be amazing. It'd be so nice to see some subscribers on there, and keep stitching. And I hope you all have a great time. I hope you all have a great day. Yeah, things are looking up here in the UK. People are starting to really get the vaccines and things going. I don't think me and my husband will get one until about September time, but I'm hoping the kids can go back to school soon, and the weather's changing for the better, and yeah, life's good. So thank you for watching. Stay safe, keep well. Thank you. Bye bye.